Hi everyone, it's Jim, Director of Tennis at the club, and I'm very excited about this next video, which is how to deal with your in-between point time. What do you do after the last point is over and before the next point begins? And Jim Lohr, world-renowned sports psychologist, has talked about this a lot and has helped the whole tennis community to understand how important this between point time is and kind of what happens with pros and what are the best practices to be able to manage your time best and get ready for that next point. So there are four specific things that we talk about when a point ends. The first thing is a positive physical response. In other words, after you hit a shot, whether you win the point or lose the point, what is your reaction? And we want that reaction to only be positive. Now, when we talk about positive physical response, we understand that if you miss a shot, you might have a negative reaction in your head, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you look, how you act, okay? It's not about what you're thinking at that point, it's about how you appear. That's the physical part about it. So you go and you hit a shot and you miss, and we see a lot of this. Shoulders down, racket down, oh no. Okay, we don't want that. We want a response after you miss or make a shot to appear positive. So it should look like this. You go hit your shot, whether you miss or not, shoulders are back, racket goes into your non-dominant hand, okay? And we walk away from that shot. Now we may have to go and pick up the ball, and that's fine or whatever, but we're looking like we won the point. Certainly not that we lost the point. You don't have to miss a shot and go, yeah, come on. Obviously that's ridiculous, but what you want to do is you want to hit and then shoulders back, racket up, racket the non-dominant hand. That's the first thing, positive physical response. All right, now you've played that point, you missed or made a shot, you've had a positive physical response. Now your racket is in your non-dominant hand, your racket is up, and now it's time for the second part, which is relaxation, okay? And what you want to do is you want to walk away from that shot. As I said, shoulders are back and up, and you're going to walk away and you're going to shake out your hand, or at least just get that nice and relaxed. That's why we have that racket in the non-dominant hand. And we're just gonna start walking away toward the baseline and across the baseline, okay? And we're gonna take nice breaths, sometimes really nice deep breaths, depending on your physical state, and that'll help you to get nice and relaxed. You're not squeezing onto the racket with your dominant hand. That's not what's happening. You're kind of relaxed there. And that's the second part. All right, now you've relaxed and you've walked across that baseline, and now you're thinking, what am I going to do for this next point? So you've had your positive physical response, you're now relaxed, or you're trying to be relaxed, and now you're thinking about, okay, where am I going to serve? Am I going to serve to the backhand, to the forehand? Where am I going to return? Am I going to return the ball deep? Whatever you're preparing and thinking about for that next point is what you want to do during this phase of the between point ritual, okay? So now we're walking back across the baseline. We go, and now we turn back toward the baseline and walk up toward the baseline, whether you're serving or receiving, and then you have the fourth and last part of the process. So this part, last part, is ritual, okay? Everybody should have a ritual, okay? And a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again. And so, for example, on my serve, I bounce the ball 3 times, and if I mess that up, I'll bounce the ball 5, but it's either 3 or 5, and usually it's 3 times, okay? You might see some other pros, they might hit the ball down, grab it, and then bounce the ball, okay? Almost always bouncing the ball is part of that ritual. I know Maria Sharapova, she always bounces like this before she gets up. Everybody has their own ritual. It's a little different for everyone. I know that Rafael Nadal has some rituals where he does this, or Jimmy Connors used to pull his shirt up, but everybody has that, okay? So that's part of it. Now, if you're returning, you may want to spin your racket. This is a ritual. Bouncing, getting low, whatever works for you, but you want to do pretty much the same thing every single time. That's what a ritual is, and that allows you to have some consistency in what you're doing and makes a big difference for that next point. Last thing I would say is if you are serving, think about this. When you get up to the line and you do your ritual, you're about to serve, you get up like this. I want you to not look, and I do see a lot of this with a lot of my students, they look sideways and they go up to serve. Part of your ritual should always be when you're serving is, when you, right before you bounce or after you bounce, is to look right toward that box, almost to your opponent, as if to say, I'm gonna win this point. That's what you want to do. And on the return, the same thing. You're staring at them. Obviously, you need to be staring at them because you're going to be watching them serve. But really focus on that part because that can help as well. All right, so now let's review. You first have a positive physical response, and then we have relaxation, and we're nice and relaxed. And then we're going to prepare for that next point. And then the last thing is having a ritual, whatever your ritual is, okay? And if you can manage this between points, I can promise you, when you get to play that next point, you will be much better off and you'll be winning a lot more points than you did in the past. All right, that's it. I hope everybody stays safe and have a terrific day, and we'll see you next time.